Nearly half of working-age women are projected to be single by 2030. Morgan Stanley forecasts the number of females without partners to increase by 1.2% annually. The overall U.S. population is expected to grow by only 0.8% per year. More women are postponing marriage, opting to remain single, or divorcing later in life. Many are also delaying childbirth or choosing to have fewer children than in past generations.
Why do they be doing studies on women?
We love y'all.
Because we the best, baby.
Like what in the brains?
It's all propaganda because when you think about it, they do studies on women when it comes to bullshit like this. They don't do studies on women or require women's input or their experiences to be involved when it comes to medical research. Research.
Yeah.
They don't do it when it comes to like you said, educate. Well, maybe education now, I guess. But I think where it really matters,
science.
Yeah, like
why is this on your brains? Why do we need this? Why do we need this study?
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you though. I don't think it's propaganda. I think like they do stuff like this to give us knowledge because, like for example, I have a daughter, right? She's 18. Recently, she was at the house with a few of her friends, all girls, and they were all telling me that none of them are having babies. They were all telling me this. And I'm like, what? Why? Right? Like, obviously, the other kids, they're not my daughters. So, you know, whatever they choose to do, that's on them. But even my daughter, like, to say that she's never going to have a child, that means that you're never going to give me a grandchild is crazy.
You got other kids.
That's the only thing you're thinking about?
No, because they mentioned that in the video, how, like, the future generations, they're opting in to not have children. Like, that means something.
This study, you know what the study says to me? That the good old boys miss the old days.
There you go. That's exactly what it is.
That's what it says.
That's exactly
they
what
miss
it
the
is.
old days of women's staying in the kitchen.
That's exactly
Go ahead,
what it
get on that hot plate.
It's been like that for a couple years now.
But guess what, Imani? They was paying for everything back then.
Oh my God. I'm not paying.
I'm just saying, y'all.
No,
that's the traditional mindset. The woman stays home with the children. She takes care of the home and the children.
We literally
the man
do
goes
not
out
have
and works
the
and
economy.
provides.
We literally don't even have the economy to have that kind of relationship, those kind of gender roles.
Correct.
Like we don't.
You're literally agreeing with what he said.
No, I am. I am.
No, I agree. The economy is not the best, but that's why you got to be with a 1%er.
Even if I wanted it, I know it's totally unrealistic to be in a relationship and expect a man to pay for every single thing.
I think people lean on tradition when it suits in certain moments.
Yeah, of course,
And
absolutely.
I'll say this: Black women, period, of this generation, being some of the more educated, some of the more, as far as entrepreneurship,
mobile, for sure.
It's just different times, and we speak to it in a very negative way. This kind of pushes to that, which I'm not for. It's propaganda to push towards that, because even the person that they use in the initial screenshot of it was a black woman.
Yeah. That's a white belly.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's representing what they want to push. We don't want y'all to be. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think that there's certain people that will push a negative connotation of what a black independent woman looks like. Yeah. I don't feed into that. I think a black independent woman could also be a black married woman with kids. They won't push that.
Yeah.
They won't push that study of how many black educated women actually married with kids.
That's dangerous.
That's what I was going to say.
That's the propaganda that's being pushed. And it's because massa wants you to remember the good old days.
Yep.
When you sat your ass down, we ran this ship, and it was just more comfortable moving in that direction. So now when you hear this, and even in that moment, like even when you say what you heard your daughter and the girl say, that might not even be an original thought for them. That might be something that was pushed to them through this avenue that they feel is now normalized. Because a lot of women now feel the only way that they can achieve that success is through being an independent, single, not married, no kids woman. Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening at this point.
Correct.
I don't think there's anything being said to how well balanced. I speak to it today. I'll say it for myself as someone who is not married with kids and not the highest of education. I walked into a house of educated Black people who are married with kids and doing what they're doing. That's not talked about enough.
At all.
They'll sit there and they'll focus on these moments to also put in our brain that that's the norm. And it's not the norm. This is the norm. It all depends on what circles you decide to filter yourself in. So now when you walk in that room and you hear your daughter speaking like that, the message should always be, okay, I get it. You can always want what you want, but that's not the norm.
Mm-hmm.
You can create whatever norms you want to create. When I walked into this room, this was the norm. There's going to be other days where I walk into another room and that might be the norm. But you don't dictate to me what the norm is. Not by no damn study, especially not by no Morgan Stanley. I'm not rocking with it.
Propaganda. It's
not rocking with
all it is. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And this literally goes back to what you were saying. Nothing about the way we live now is traditional, nor can it be traditional.
Days are done.
Yeah, like
I be trying to make it traditional.
That's so sad.
Well, why
I'm a
should it be?
traditional woman.
No, I'm not saying, I'm not saying that it should, but
You're saying that you think it's 50-50, but that's not true. Because I feel like the 50-50 be actually keeping people together. Because my experience from couples that I have seen, some couples are together because 2 incomes is better than 1.
Well, yeah, financially.
So that's not true. Economy is hard right now. I know a lot of couples that are together just for finances. I have girlfriends who literally hate their man, and they just with them just because they gotta survive that way.
No, that's a fact.
You know, so that's not accurate.
I mean,
like people are together.
That might not be traditional in the sense of what we might have seen, but I'll be honest with you. I've seen that some of the older folk from back in the days,
they stayed because
you
they
stayed,
had to.
You had
Because they
my
had
grandmother and my grandfather had 16 kids.
Jesus Christ, where they from?
Queens.
I thought you were gonna say.
But Aaron, that's
Had all them niggas in Hollis. All them niggas in Hollis. But so
Jesus.
don't get me wrong. Was there love there? Yes. Was I old? But I'm not going nowhere. I'm here. I got 16 kids with this, and my grandpa was moved. We just found the aunt that we ain't know about. That he went around.
Yeah.
I'm here. We built family. A lot of them grew up in times where you lost sense of family because you're talking about people coming out of civil rights movement before that, coming out of being emancipated. You're talking about a line of people who have lost that level of family, and you rather keep a hold of that than love, damn near.
A certain level of community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they moved. We all live right by each other. Like my mother-in-law lived 5 minutes away. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law that moved to Connecticut, they used to live like 3 minutes away. And then my other brother-in-law and his wife, they probably live like, 10 minutes away. So we were all very close to each other, right? And so when they left, I was like, nobody agreed with them leaving. But when they left, we were like, what y'all gonna do out there? Like, what if the kids have an emergency and you need somebody to pick them up? What if somebody's sick? What if, the only person you have is your spouse? Like, you don't have any, and I know you get friends or whatever, but like,
it's not the same.
That ain't like calling, if my sister-in-law calls me, hey, can you go pick the kids up? Something happened at work and I just can't leave. You know what I mean? Or hey, we got to take one of the kids to the, not the ER, what's it called? Urgent care.
Urgent care, yep.
So can you watch this one? You don't get to do that. So I think it has a lot, of course it has to do with structure, but it has a lot to do with like breaking down the bonds of community that we've previously had. Whether there was romantic love or not, like there was, like you said, some level of love between.
It was commitment to something greater than what we are used to, something greater than what we came from. And a lot of people are just happier having that than taking a risk on having nothing. I'm not saying it's always good. I don't think anyone should ever just be comfortable in a situation. I think there should be some balance between comfort and actually wanting to be there. But we come in a time where you kind of get what you can get. I also don't want to speak to tradition so much.
Agreed.
Because if we go based off of American tradition, a lot of us shouldn't be